day, we find Dennis inspecting a few projects out in the yard and micromanaging, as per usual.
Is that lining up, Mark?
I'm going to see as soon as he gets...
Make sure that's lined up. I don't want that damn thing crooked.
I'm making sure. It just once he stops moving the VI...
Well, you got the wind blowing too, so you got to calculate that factor in there. Yeah.
So that one notch out, go just one notch. Go, it's back where it was. One notch. Really?
Go back in.
Go back to where it was and leave it.
Yeah.
Leave it.
That's pretty straight right there. That's pretty straight right there. You didn't want to go with a low profile, like 4-footer there? I mean, you see how long that is?
Yeah, I looked up the antenna itself, the maker of that.
Right.
5.8.
Right.
When I gave him the hull ID, that's the one.
Okay.
When we checked it.
They don't have a low profile in that version?
Well, the 5.8, that's an 8-foot.
Yeah, yeah.
The 5.8 is the one I wanted to put on there.
Yeah.
I thought that was the one that would go on there.
Yeah.
But when we did the hull ID, they looked up the build.
Yeah.
And it said that.
Okay. All right. Hey, Troy, what's happening? How you feeling, man? Are you better?
Feeling a little better, yeah.
You were really sick yesterday. Nobody even wanted to be around you. They had to send you home.
Yeah.
After 90 days, you either shit can him or you keep him. And he's a real good employee, so we're probably going to give him a raise. Want to invest in him, motivate him, and just show him how much we appreciate him being here. So maybe Friday we'll plan on it, and that'll be a better day. Give me a couple days, give you a couple days to rest.
Sounds good.
And we'll go from there, all right?
Take a little honey tea before.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so I'll let you finish up. You got it, buddy. All right, thank you. Hopefully he's better by then. If he still has the flu, we'll have to put it off till Monday because I don't want to get sick.
Later that day, Juan has come to check up on Aria's progress, but he's about to discover something truly terrifying.
Doing our initial inspection now, we're seeing the interior is rotted. So a lot of that's going to have to be cut out, and Steph's going to have to rebuild it.
We inspected the actual bow spread, and we noticed it was cracked and broken, and a big chunk was missing out of there. We're going to take that chunk out and grind and replace the core, put staggered laminates, and re-laminate that whole thing with multiple staggered laminates of epoxy and fiberglass. Then we're going to sand, fill, fair, and shape the bodywork and get it really nice and smooth and strong. And then we're going to match and apply color match gel coat. We're going to spray 2 or 3 coats on it, and then we're going to wet sand and polish that new gel coat to match the existing gel coat. The trick with that is new gel coat versus old gel coat.
What they did is they made non-skid on a piece of fiberglass, came and glued it onto the boat. Not the right way to do it. Now the fiberglass is getting unglued. When we do non-skid repairs, we do it right on the boat. Now I'm going to have to grind all this off to an area where it's not delaminating, and then start fixing from there. And then we can go ahead and put new non-skid. Boats and problems. Dile a George que quisiera ver si para fin de semana lo dejamos y después hacemos primer todo. Cuando ya le tiramos primer, vamos a poner. Trying to locate the leak on the starboard side of Aria, and we're having complications removing these panels. Some genius 5200 in place. So now to take them down, I'm going to have to destroy them. All the panels have to come down so I can see where the leak's coming from. Hey Dennis.
Yeah, buddy. What's
Got a
up?
problem on Aria.
Is this going to be long?
Yeah, it might be.
All right, let's go sit over there. Just part of my day.
So we have the technicians on Aria removing the overhead panels.
Yeah.
So that we can find the leaks. It appears that the panels are raw wood or 5200 onto the boat.
Who the hell 5200's overhead panels onto the ceiling?
Some moron.
Are you kidding me?
No.
So there are 5200 on?
5200.
All of them or some of them?
The edges of most of them. And to take them off, we're going to have to destroy them.
So now we're going to have to make all new overhead panels. And the first, they should be sealed on the back too.
Yeah, and then it's raw wood.
How many are there?
4 that I know that definitely have to be ripped off.
Yeah.
But then you're going to have to talk to the owner, see if he just wants to replace them all.
Oh, he's going to flip a strip, man. Oh my just don't understand in the marine industry who the hell glues 5,200 panels up there so they never come down. And 5,200 is an adhesive, it's not a caulk. So when you put it up there, it's there for life.
Do
we know who did that?
No, I have no idea. Whoever worked on that boat before us?
You know, now that I'm thinking about that, that boat has been up here 3 different times to the same company for warranty work. That coach roof has been off 3 different times. Those panels had to be off 3 different times because of the fittings from the roof. When they put those non-skid panels over, they were covering up a bunch of voids that were leaking water into there. So the last company that did that 3 different times is the company that probably glued those up with the 5,200. And that's what we do at Foster's. We find solutions for the problems, especially when the boat has already been to this marina or several marinas 3 or 4 times trying to get the same warranty work that was never achieved. Now this is going to wind up costing the owner a lot of money for something that could have easily been prevented. And he is not going to be happy when we tell him about this. The good news is...
the good news or the bad news?
No, the good news is your boat's going to look awesome when we're done. The bad news is it's going to take a little bit more resources and a little bit, maybe a lot more work to get it done that way. In order to do a proper inspection of all the caulking and the penetrations and try to find the leak, we need to take the panels down.
Right.
But we can't get the panels down without snapping them and breaking them because they are glued up. The screws are already out. That's an adhesive. That's a 5,200 adhesive.
It's not just stuck?
No.
Okay, so these have become one with the ceiling.
One with the ceiling. Look, I can't even move that. I can't even, look.
Is
that's
it
like
with
cement.
this one or with all of them?
Well, these are the ones we've taken down. We haven't gotten the rest of them down. We got to about halfway right here. So we're going to take the rest of them down now and see if it's all the way through.
Also?
That's also glued. You see the screws removed.
All right, we've got a pattern.
This has no sealant whatsoever. They just put washers. You can see how it was done. Right. And we have evidence that's already been leaking because when I took down that panel, as you can see,
Yeah, we've got some water damage.
there's all the water damage. And the back portion of these should be sealed with like an epoxy resin so that they last a long time and they don't rot out with water damage.
Well, it looks like the water stayed here, pooled, and terminated here.
Yes.
I'm not quite sure why it's leaking all the way over there.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing when we pull these panels down with a crowbar or something else, we're going to see wherever that source of water, which would be up here, I'm thinking it's finding its way to the interior, pooling somewhere on the roof, like condensation, and eventually sliding down the sloped roof and manifesting on that wall there.
So when we take the rest of these panels out, we'll be able to identify it and we're going to do a water test and we should be able to find out where it's coming from.
So if we replace these, aren't we kicking the problem down the calendar?
That's going to definitely affect the schedule a little bit more. It's going to take a little bit more time because we should have had these down in about a couple hours, all of them.
Can we replace this with whiteboard?
We can replace that with what we call PVC whiteboard.
Okay.
It's a PVC.
Yeah,
you don't have to worry about wood. It's flexible. It's also rigid. And it's great because we can just put a couple more screws in there and keep it up. And anytime you need to take it down, you just undo the screws, comes down, you can access anything you need to.
All right, well, fun.
As with any large project, there's always going to be some kind of creeping scope. Dennis is a sales guy. He just said, screw it, we're gonna go get the best that's ever been built with alien technology from the future and get that on the boat.
Yeah, this is obviously we're gonna get you some numbers for this. It's obviously gonna increase the budget, which we didn't plan on, but obviously when you get into a project like this with refits, some things come up and you wanna address them now versus later.
I don't want to be the one to give you bad news, but remember, we're just starting, so there might be a couple more mousetraps that we find.
We're gonna be here for a couple of months, so let's hope when we go through some other stuff, especially when we rip up this, we don't find any like rotted stuff over there, so.
I gotta figure out how many charters I gotta do to pay for this damn thing.
Settle down, checkbook's gonna close soon.
All right, I'll go work on the numbers for you.
Thanks.
All right, you got it, man. Take care.
The work on Aria has only just begun.
Remember, we're just starting.
There's already talk of creeping scope and creeping budget and potentially a missed timeline. As the Foster's team continues their progress, how many more mousetraps could there be?
So there might be a couple more mousetraps.
If you're the owner of this boat, you've got to be a little more than concerned. Could this be the first drop in the bucket of a mounting storm of bad news to come? Although Dennis projects complete confidence, one can only imagine what's really going inside this mad genius's head.
I got plenty of confidence. You need a cup or two?
Will Dennis be able to hold the house of cards together and pull off yet another success story on Aria? Or will this be the bridge too far that breaks them all? Will Juan be able to rise to the continuing stress and demands as a service manager? Or is he simply flat out, point blank, just way in over his head? The pressure just continues to mount on the entire Foster's team each week, and it looks like the worst is yet to come. Keep watching